So today is the second class of SQL. Has everybody completed the assignment? Oh, only 10 people today. Not even 10, 8 people. Is it because of the long weekend? Seems like the long weekend. No problem, sir. That's fine. We'll anyways discuss the assignment, so not a problem. Has everybody completed the assignment? Alright, so Sudipto has completed. Hiral, Gaurav. What about Arnab, Pushpendra, Siddhant, Vishal? What about you guys? Okay, that's good, Arnab. Sure, we will anyways be discussing the entire thing, but you can put your question in the chat box, Arnab. Vishal, Siddhant, Pushpendra, have you completed the assignment? Sure, okay. Yes, thanks for asking that. We'll do it today. Arnab will do that today. Siddhant, okay. Please don't miss out on completing the assignments in time. All right. I'm going to start explaining as I'm discussing the assignment and also cover the fifth question as in this part. Yeah. So first get all details from person.person. So select star from person.person. The first three questions are pretty easy. Now the fourth question says get only these columns and rename those columns. So we are saying select sales order ID as. By using as we are renaming the columns. Fourth question is clear everybody? Fourth question is clear to everybody? Yeah. Okay. Fifth says get only specific columns again and download the data. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to explain this. I'm going to copy this into a SQL and I'm going to run this. So that's my result. Okay. Now it says copy the data into Excel, download the data into Excel. So what I can do is in the output, okay, in the output, I can right click on this top. Okay. First I can normal click and I can say right click copy with headers. Then I can simply start Excel. You're not able to see my screen. Guys, can you see my SQL screen? Okay, okay. Alright. And I can directly paste. So I just said right click, copy with headers. And I came here and just pressed Ctrl V and it did the job. Understood? Is that clear? Arnab, is that making sense? Yeah. Now the question also says split that data by this. So I'm going to increase a column here and I'm going to select and say text to columns. We've already done this. So I can only say split it on the slash and done. Understood everyone? Is this clear to everybody? Yeah. So that was your question 5. Now going to question 6.
और उसमें भी ना दिक्कत आ रही थी ऑडियो रिकॉर्डर में ना.
Param, can you please put yourself on mute, Param? Alright. Okay, so the sixth question simply said that you need to order it. So we've said order by. Now guys, mind you, I have taught you order by ASC and DESC, correct? So if you don't put anything, by default it is always ASC, ascending order. Is that clear? Is that clear? If you don't put anything and you just say order by line total, it will always order it in ascending order. Is that clear? If you want descending order, you have to put this. And if you put ASC, nothing wrong in that also. I always prefer to put ASC, but it's up to you. Alright. So that was your question 6. Same way, question 7, order. Now question 8 is filter with line total greater than 10,000. So we say where line total greater than 10,000. Then similarly, where line total between 10 and 20 and this or this. We had already done something like this. Same way, job title. Had we done this percentage sign? Yes, we had. Account percentage. Yes, we had done. Like. Right? Is the assignment absolutely clear to everybody? Absolutely clear the assignment totally? Full assignment? Shall we start today's class? Alright. Okay, so I'm going to close this and let's get on to SQL. Alright. So, okay. Anything that you want me to revise, anything, or can I actually let's start? I think we all are clear. Most of us have also completed the assignment. So I'm going to explain a concept first and then I'll get into SQL. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to compare it Excel versus SQL so that your learning becomes very easy because you already know how it's done in Excel. Okay. So let's say I write city and let's say product and I say value, sale value, right? Or quantity, let's say quantity. So I say Mumbai, product A, quantity 10. Second person again came to Mumbai and product bought 45. Again in Mumbai, somebody came and bought 47. Then in Pune, somebody bought product C, 10. Then in Pune, product B, 12. Pune, product C again, 78. Mumbai, product A, 45. Suppose this is the data. Yes? Yeah. Suppose this is the data. Now, based on this, Gaurav, we'll take that in after some time, okay? I don't have it in this because it's only released in US yet. It's not released in India yet. So I cannot explain like this, but I'll give you a link of a YouTube video which will explain you what is Excel. Yeah. So suppose this is the data. Now what we did when we did a pivot table, basically when we did a pivot table, we did grouping by city. Yes or no? Suppose we did a grouping by city. So you got city wise quantity. Yes or no? We've done that. So let's just create a quick clear pivot table and understand exactly what happens when you do a pivot table. Okay. So when I said city wise quantity, what happened is, in a way, you told Excel, give me a unique list of cities. And for each of those, give me a summation of this column. Yes or no? Yes or no? First you told Excel, give me a unique list and then next to it give me summation of this. Is that clear to everybody? Okay. So what we are going to do is, we are going to say select, don't do it right now, just observe. From, I'm going to take person dot address. Okay, this is the new table that we're going to take. So here you have a city column. Okay. So I'm going to say select city from person dot address. All right. So I only get the city column, correct? See, if I order it by city, just for you to understand, you will see there are duplicate values, right? There are duplicate values. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I don't want the duplicate values. So can I say distinct city? Can I say distinct city? Yes. So I don't get the duplicate values. Okay. But now what we are trying to do here is we don't need to write distinct like this. So what we need is next to city, we want a count of city itself. What do I mean by this? So what I got here is a list of cities, and next to that I got a sum of quantity. Yes or no? I got a sum of quantity. So here instead I'm saying, now I'll make one more pivot table. I'm saying give me a list of cities and also give me a count of the cities. So there are 4 orders from Mumbai and 3 from Pune. Is that clear? Is that clear to everybody what I just did? As a pivot table, is it clear? Yes. As a pivot table, is it clear? Okay. So now observe carefully. Okay, observe carefully. I'm saying give me city, give me count of city. If I try to run this, I'm not going to get anything. Okay. What I will have to tell Excel is group by. So group space by space city. Now when I will run this, what does group by do? Group by automatically first creates a distinct list. Okay, so that is how a distinct list is created, group by. And next to that, what I want is the count. And if I order it by the city column again, I get my data like this. So again, now your question in your mind will be, what is the difference between distinct city and group by city? Okay, distinct city is to be used when you just want a distinct list and nothing else. All right, and group by is to be used when you want a corresponding output against it. So here you have to write a corresponding output. Is that clear to everybody? Is that clear to everybody? Yes. Okay, don't do it yet, guys. Don't do it yet. I'll give you enough time to do it. Just observe right now. Okay. See, same way, we will take sales dot sales order detail. All right. Now, here what you have is product. Okay. So can I say select star from sales dot sales order detail? Now instead of product, instead of star, I'm going to write product ID, and I'm going to say group by product ID. Okay. So my distinct list is created, comma. Now what is the corresponding output that I want? I can say count of product ID. Okay. Comma, sum of line total. Now observe carefully. What has been created is, I'm going to order it by the product ID. Okay. What has been created is first a list of product IDs because it said group. Then a count of product ID means number of orders for each product ID and the sum of the value of those products. So I can always rename this as number of orders, and I can rename this as total sale value. Now when I run this, I get the value. Is this making sense to everybody how group by is working? Yes, no? Yeah? So I'll give you 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you need. Go ahead and try these two. This is one, right? And this is two. Try these two. And I'm going to put some more questions below this so you can start solving those also. Alright, I'm going to give you 5-10 minutes. Please go ahead and do this. If you have any question, please ask. I put a list of questions. Please go ahead and try those. If you have any question, ask me. Getting it, everyone? Which question are you on? View Object Explorer. F8. You can just move this around. You can just move it around like this. See that? How I did? See that? How I did it? So that's done. Done, everybody? Can I carry on? Just to this. Now you're going to drag this, and there's a button on the left. So just put it here, and now you can increase or decrease the width. Siddhant, I hope you're done with the questions. Welcome. You done with the questions, Siddhant? Okay. Please quickly complete it. Hello. Everybody done with this much? Siddhant, can I carry on? Okay. See now guys, what I've done is I have just done a order by this descending order of the sales value. Alright. Oh sorry, this much. Right? So I have this data by the descending order of sales value. Now what I want to do is I can say I want to filter this data. Okay. So I can say where number of orders is greater than 1000. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Logically, does it make sense? Why not, Gaurav? Can you tell me why not? See, actually, logically, it feels like, oh no, that's fine because I have created a calculated field. It's fine, right? I've given that name. See, that's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. See, here also I was able to do that, right? So that's fine. So logically, it feels right, but there is a problem here. Okay. Why? Let me explain you. All right. So there are two clauses. One is called where and one is called having. All right. There are two clauses. Both are for filtering. All right. Both are used for filtering. Okay. Now, where is used when, sorry, before group by. All right. And having is used after group by. Okay. So I'll explain you this now. What does these two mean? Okay. Let's take this example only. Okay, this is your data. Suppose I write select star from data. Let's say this is the data. Okay. And I say where city is equal to Mumbai. What will I get? What will I get? Only Mumbai values? Yes or no? Yes or no? Correct? Simple. Suppose instead I say where quantity greater than 40. So now what will I get? I will get this and this. Yes or no? Correct? Yes, everyone? Now, the difference is when you say where, you are filtering the original data. Alright? But if I say select city, comma, sum of quantity from data, group by city. Okay. Now when I do this, I will get this as the output. Yes or no? This is the output that I'll get, that pivot table that we have created. Yes or no? Now if I want to filter the output, I have to write having sum of quantity greater than 120. Then I will only get this one value. Is that making sense, everyone? Is that making sense? So this filters the original data and this filters the output data. Okay. So now let me explain you here. Now here you have some data. This is the output. So if I want to filter the output data, I have to write having. Oops, something. Order by has to go last. Having always comes after group by. Something went wrong. Okay, let's write sum of line total. Okay, perfect. So you were right, guys. You cannot write the column name. Even I messed up in that. You'll have to write the value. Sorry, so we'll have to write count the product ID. Yes. So that is greater than 1000. So suppose if I write greater than 3000, what I'm going to get is this. So now what you are doing is you are filtering the output of the group, the grouped output. Is that making sense, everyone? Is that making sense? Everybody, is that clear? I hope this example was making sense. Please go ahead and try this one. Please go ahead and try this one. And I'll give you one more question to try then. I've written one more question, guys, then. Please try to solve that. I've written one more question. Please try to solve. I've also given the output result. So just match this result with your result when you get it. If you get this one, then your understanding of having is perfectly done properly. Done, everyone? All right, carry on. Guys, please write done once you're done so I know. Uh, the logic would remain definitely the same. I'm not sure about the syntax exactly. Honestly, I've not used that. But definitely because with SQL, logic will remain the same. Yes, Lito? Yeah, we are going to do that today. That's the topic after the one that I'm going to take now. So we'll be learning more from the tables point of view, but you can definitely then just search a little and you can get how to create a database also. Banu, please show your code. Unless I see the code, how will I know? That's fine. That's fine, Siddharth. Banu, what is the code that you've written? How do I know otherwise? From what? Where is the group by? You've written group by sales order detail. It should be sales order ID, right? This is wrong. These are two different columns. Understood, Banu? Banu, understood? Select everything and run it. You've written count of order ID. It should be sum of order ID. Where are the basics gone? First you're writing sum here and then here you're writing count. How does it make sense? Understood your mistake? Okay. Carry on, everyone. All right. Please pay attention now. Please pay attention. Now we are going to learn something called as views. Okay. So what is a view? First of all, let's understand. View is basically you are telling SQL to remember a set of queries. Okay, that's basically a view. Meaning what? Let's say this is a set of queries that I've written. Okay. So I'm going to tell say SQL create view. I'm going to give a name of a view. So I like to write the name of a view as VW underscore and then something. But you can write whatever you want. So I'm going to write VW underscore quantity 400. Okay, that's what I'm going to put as. Alright. So I'm saying create view. That's the clause. Then I have to give the name of the view as, and then I have to put the set of queries. Okay. Now when I do this and I run this, sorry, 1 second. What happened to this? No column name was specified for column 2. Ah, okay. I will have to give a column name. A view cannot have no column name. So I'm going to say order total quantity. Yeah. So it instead of giving an output, it said commands completed successfully. Okay. Now what does this mean? It means that under this name, SQL has stored this set of queries. Okay. Now whenever I want to see this output, all I have to say is select star from VW underscore quantity 400 and I will get that same exact output. Is that making sense? So I don't have to sit and type this query every time or copy paste it every time. I can store this as a view and I can call that view anytime I want. Is that making sense, everyone? Okay, one thing to remember this point. Sorting means order by cannot be a part of a view. Alright, you cannot write order by year. Alright, if you want to order it, after select star, you will have to say order by, let's say, sum of order quantity in descending order. So you will have to write this year. What happened again? Sorry guys, I haven't done this since a while. Yes, sorry. See, why did this happen? Because it did not understand a column called order quantity in this particular view. It only had two columns. This view only has two columns, sales order ID and total quantity. So if I want to order, I got to write it after this. I cannot write it here. Is that clear? Is that clear to everybody? Let me know once you're done. It has to. I don't see any situation where it would not. It has to happen. Done, everybody? Guys, please keep the habit of writing do any. What's the question, Jadito? Yeah, you can rename it. Done, everyone? Can I carry on? Okay, suppose if you ever want to delete a view, you can write drop view and the name of the view, and then you have to run this and it's dropped. So now if I try to run this, it doesn't work. It does nothing like this. So if I have to run this, I have to create the view again. So all I have to do is drop view and the name of the view. Simple. That's how you can delete a view. Clear everyone? Alright. Now what we are going to learn is creating a table. Okay, so before this, let me quickly cover the rest of the presentation and then we'll get on to creating the table. Alright. So we were here. We had finished this much. Now this normalization I'll take up later. Let me first look at this. First thing, we know that a table name consists of a schema name dot table name, right? So a schema name is very important. So if I want to create a new table under a new schema, I'll have to first create a schema and then create the table. Is that much okay? Is that much okay, everyone? Yeah. So just keep in mind this order of the clauses. Okay. Sorry, this presentation was not in proper order. I just rearranged the slide. But just remember this. First is select, then from, then where, then group by, having an order by. Please remember this order, everyone. Do not mess up this order. Sorry, I'm going off topic, but just remember this order, everyone. Please write it down. I'm waiting for you all to write it down. All right. Okay. So to be able to create a new table under a new schema, first I have to create a schema. Okay. So what I'm going to do is in SQL, I'm going to say create schema. I'm going to call it dummy data. Okay. And I'm going to run this. When I did that, it says commands completed successfully. So I have created a new schema which is called dummy data. So please complete this much, everyone. Please complete this much. Let me know once you're done. Let me know once you're done. Done, everyone? No, it is not case sensitive. Not case sensitive. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create the table. All right. So first let me tell you what we are going to create and then we will actually create it. All right. So we are going to create three tables. Actually, no, let's focus on two tables first for learning. But from understanding point of view, I'm just explaining you how we are going to create three tables. We can create three tables. Okay. One is customer, one is sales, and one is product. So let's take this as an example. So now in customer, tell me out of the four columns, which column is a unique column? In the customer, which column is a unique column? Unique column as in it cannot have any data entry repetitive. That is a unique column. Now, under the customer table, there are four columns. Cust ID, cust name, mobile, email. Out of these four, which column cannot have a repeat value? Perfect. Understood everybody? So a column like that is always called the primary key. Is that clear everybody? Is that clear? It's called the primary key. Okay. So tell me which will be the primary key in product table? Which will be the primary key in product table? Very good. And now which will be the primary key in sales table? Think again everyone. Which will be the primary key in sales table? Gaurav, think again. We'll talk about foreign key. Let's just focus on the primary key first. Which will be the primary key in sales table? Gaurav, which one will it be? Bhanu, we are talking about these three tables. There is no sales order ID here, no? Which columns are there? What is wrong with you, Bhanu, today? Generally, you don't make such silly mistakes. Out of this table, which is the primary key? That's what. Get well soon, Bhanu. Gaurav, did you understand why invoice number? See, very simple. In a table like this, in sales table, there are 6 columns. Invoice number, date, cost ID, product ID, quantity and mode of payment. So here we are saying that only the invoice number is the column that cannot have a repeat value. Because if I am your customer and I am buying a mobile phone, which is a product, I can come today and buy a phone. Tomorrow also I can come and again buy a phone. Right? So there is no way that customer and product ID can be primary keys. Is that okay everyone? Is that okay everyone? Yes? Okay. Now, what is a foreign key? Okay, what is a foreign key? So in the sales table, by just looking at the number of columns that are 6, do you know the customer name? Just look at the sales table and tell me, do you know the customer name? No, right? But through the cust ID, I can relate it to the customer table and get the customer name. Yes or no? So that is called a foreign key. Same way, I can relate the product ID in the product table and get the product name. Price, quantity, customer mobile, customer email, anything that I want. I can relate it there. I can reference. It's called references. I can reference it there and I can get the relevant data. Right? So that is called the foreign key. Alright. So what we are going to now do is we are going to create these two tables. We will create a customer data table and we will create a sales data table. Okay. What our customer data table is going to have is cust ID 12345 and name as ABCDE. And here sales ID is 12345 as in 1012345 and cust ID is 12324. It doesn't have cust ID 5. Is that much clear, everyone? Please create only these tables. The reason is that I have made the examples based on this table. Alright, the following examples that I will take, they are based on this table. So to be able to learn those examples properly, you must use only these tables. Is that okay, everyone? Yes? So let's start creating it. So first thing I'm going to say is create table, and then I will say dummy data dot customer data. So I'm saying dummy data meaning under this schema, my name of the table is going to be customer data. So I can say C capital, D capital. I can do that. Now, to be able to create the table, if I directly try, it will not create because it doesn't know what columns to put. So here I know that I want two columns. So you have to put brackets like this. Okay. Oh, sorry. Normal brackets, not these ones. Sorry. Normal brackets. But here I will write cust ID as the name of the column. Then I will write cust name as the name of the column. There are two column names. But against each column name, I got to give a data type. So we are going to give n varchar 6, n varchar 30. Now what is this n varchar? I'll tell you. And then you have to give which is the primary key. So I'm saying this is the primary key. So out of these two columns, this is the primary key. When I run this entire thing, it creates a table. Now when I try to run the table, dummy data.customer data, it will give me the two columns without any data because we've not put any data inside yet. Correct? We just created the structure of the table. So go ahead and create the structure of the table. In the meantime, once you're done, I'll explain you what is nvarchar. Please go ahead and create this. Show me your data, I mean the code, Hiral, otherwise I won't understand. Show me the entire code. Create table. After n varchar 30, you put a full stop. That could be the issue, first of all. And have you given the primary key? Gaurav, you've named the column cus ID and primary key is cust ID. Uh, yeah, it could be some silly mistake only. Just try to see where you're creating a problem. See, I'm copy pasting my code in the chat box. You can try using that code. Have you created the schema? Hiral, have you created the schema first? Should work. Yeah, it should work. Just check again, Hiral. See, actually, unless I can't see it myself, I'm not able to tell you. But it could be just some silly mistake like a comma or a full stop or something like that. Okay, everyone, please observe. Now, I have put a link. I'll just put it again. 1 second. I'll just open this and put the link again. So please save this link. This has a list of all data types in SQL. So we understand now. We can't go through everything, but here in SQL Server data types, you can see string data types, and you can see numeric data types, and you can see date and time data types. All right, and other data types. So this is the portion where we are focusing on. Right now we are working only with strings. So under string we are using this one, which is variable with Unicode, so it can hold up to 4,000 characters. All right. Now I'm not going to get into details because that's not the scope of this course, creation of databases. This is only to explain you how to do it if in case you want to get into it. So this is what we are using right now, nvarchar. Alright. So getting back here, let's create one more table that we have to create for sales data. Now please observe carefully. I'm going to say create table dummy data dot sales data brackets, which is the column sales ID and cust ID. See, I always try to write it like this. So I go step by step. Now this got to be nvarchar. Again, I can say 6. Now cust ID, because I'm going to use the same one that is there in the other table, it needs to have the same nvarchar. So this was 6, so I have to use 6 here. Alright. Now primary key here is the sales ID. Yes or no? Yes or no? And foreign space key, which is your cust ID, references dummy data dot customer data. So here we are telling SQL that the primary key is sales ID, but this particular column references to the same column in the customer data table. Now when I say select star from dummy data dot sales data, I get a blank table only with 2 columns. Yeah, I'll check it. First ID. Are you trying to run everything together, Hiral? Are you trying to run all this code together? One by one, right? Really weird. Seems perfect. Okay, Hiral, I'm just going to copy your code and just try it here. Okay, just please observe. Hiral, just please observe. Others, you can continue. So I'm just going to call this customer data 1. Okay, so here also I'm writing 1. And I'm going to run this. It worked. And this also worked. So there's nothing wrong. I think you are trying to do this together. That's why it's creating a problem. So first run this much and then run this much. It should work. I just copy pasted your same code. I have not done anything extra. Everybody done? Done, everybody? All right, let's take a break. After coming from the break, we will learn how to put data into these tables and then carry forward from there. All right, so what we have to learn is putting data into the tables and then something called as joins. So these are the two things that we have to complete. We have enough time, we'll be able to complete it well enough. So guys, please come back at 11:50. Please come back at 11:50, everyone. Continue everyone. Okay. Now what we are going to do is, just to tell you, in case you want to ever delete a table, same thing, the way we did view, drop table. All right. Now what we are going to do is, I'm just going to write it between this so that you understand. So this year we said we created table. Okay. Now here we are viewing the table, right? Table data. And here let's insert data into the table. All right. So now what we are going to do is we are going to say insert space into space dummy data dot customer name. All right. But while doing this, we have to say in what order of columns are we going to enter the data into. So first I'm going to enter cust ID and then I'm going to give the cust name. Is that much clear to everyone? Don't do it right now. Just tell me whether that much clear is clear to everybody. Yes? Is that much clear to everybody? Hmm? Now, I'm going to say values. So these are the values that I want to put. Let's look at this. So we have to put these values, right? Now, think of it this way. I'm going to copy paste this, okay? Comma, copy paste, comma, copy paste, comma, copy paste, comma. Now, I like to do this always so I never make a mistake. So 1 is my cust ID and A is my customer name. 2 is my cust ID and B is my customer name. 3 is my cust ID and C is my customer name. 4 and D and 5 and E. Alright. Now, when I will run this, it says 5 rows affected. And now when I will view the data, I see the table created with the data. Is that clear to everybody? I'll do it one more time, then I'll give you time to do it, okay? Is this much clear to everybody? This much clear? Yes? Guys, please don't start doing it. Just observe one more time so that it gets into your head properly. And then I'll give you time to do it. Don't worry. Alright? So now we are going to do that for the second one. So I'm going to say what? Insert into dummy data dot sales data. First I'm going to give a sales ID and then a cust ID. Right? And then I'm going to say values and I'm going to give the values comma, 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 comma and comma. Now what are the values? I'm going to look at this. So it says 1011, 102, 2, then 103, 3, then 104, not 4, it is 2, and then 105, again not 5, it is 4. Now I run an insert and when I check this, I get the data. Is this clear to everybody? Please go ahead and do this. I'm going to copy the code in the chat box also in case you want to take it from there, but I would say that you do it yourself. I'm going to keep both of them open. Here, you can see both of them now. This is the one part, this is the second part. Please complete this and write done once you're done, guys. Guys, please put your code, otherwise how will I understand? Create table, ML key. Is your customer data table created properly, Banu? So please share your screen, Banu. Let me see what you've done. Please share your screen. Okay. Sales space ID, primary key. Why is that space? Understood? Welcome. Everybody done with both the entering data into both the tables? Okay, no problem. Take your time. Done, everyone? Done everyone? So then please share your code. Yeah, looks fine. Yeah, so then 1 second, I'll just give you. Yeah, please share your screen. Please run the code. No, first run that code of the values. Yeah, there's a problem, no? Conflicted with the foreign key. Cost ID. Insert into sales data. Can you go up? Can you go up a little? Yeah, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Say select star from dummy data to customer data. Just run that much. Run the customer table. Let me see that. That is also empty, no? What is this? Arey Baba. You read your statement. There is no cust name column in insert into. Insert into dummy data dot customer data cust ID space cust name. Yeah. Now run it. Now view the data. Understood? Now run the second table values. Now view it. Perfect. Alright. Sudipto, can you share your screen? Let me quickly see it. Welcome, Siddhant. Sudipto, can you share your screen? Cannot insert duplicate. First of all, you're not following the data that is there in the presentation. It was not 12322. It was 12324. That is the first thing. Please change that 105, 4. Last line, last line. Sudipto. The last line of the code 105, 4. Make it 4, please. Please try to run the code and see. Please try to run the code and show me what's coming. Sudipto, can you hear me? Sudipto, please run the code. Primary key constraint, cannot insert duplicate key. Okay, can you go up? Can you go up? Show me how what you created in the table. Show me the entire code of how you create the table. Hmm. Sales ID, customer name, customer data, sales data. Okay, come down a little. Come down a little. Insert values in the first table. Please insert values in the first table. Please run that code. Insert value. Insert into the customer table. Yes, please run that much code. Insert into dummy data or customer data. Just that much. That entire piece of code. Please run that much only. Yes. Please execute it. Are your tables created properly? Are your tables created properly? Just run select star from customer data. Just run that much. Come on, please, a little faster. I'm losing time. Okay. So this is already created, so you don't have to create this. And run the second table, dummy data of sales data. Run that. Execute this one. Please execute it, Sudipto. I can't see anything. Your screen is frozen. So it already has the data now. So what was the problem? You had already completed it. That is why it's not able to take the data again. It already had it. What you had done was correct. You had already completed everything. Understood? So you already have it. It's not that you've not done it. If you try to put the same values again, it's going to create a problem, no? Because the primary key cannot have the same value again. Is that clear? Is that clear, Sudipto? Okay, I will have to anyways continue. Everybody please observe. Now we are going to create joins. Okay. So what are we going to do is we are going to learn something called as joins. I'm going to first look at inner join. Inner join means what? I only need the common data in the output. Okay, so there are two tables, left table, right table. I only want the common data between the two tables in the output. Okay, so what I'm going to first do is select star from dummy data dot customer data. Okay, and I'm going to run this. So I have this table. Next, I'm going to write inner join dummy data dot sales data. Boom, error. Okay, why? What I need to tell is that first of all, here I need to say on dummy data dot customer data dot cust id is equal to dummy data dot sales data dot cust id. Now what I get is the output. What did we do? Okay, so we said I want to join these two tables, this one and this one. Okay, while joining, I need to say what is the commonality between the two tables. So I'm telling SQL that this table, this column is equal to this table, this column. Is that making sense to everyone? Is that making sense? Yes. And that's why, because we have done select star, so we are seeing the entire table again. So we are seeing this column twice. Now, mind you, we are not seeing a cust ID 5 anywhere. Why? Because there was no sale of cust ID 5, right? He had not bought anything. And because inner join says that show me only common data, it does not show cust ID 5. Is that clear to everybody? Is that clear? Is that clear? Go ahead. Please complete this much. Please complete this much. If you want to delete a table, if you ever want to delete a table, the way we did drop view, same way. Guys, please let me know once inner join is done. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, I don't want to show this column twice. Okay. So instead of star, I'm going to say cust ID, comma cust name, comma sales ID. Alright. And I'm going to run this and it gives me an error. It gives me an error because cust ID is present in both the tables. Yes or no? So now it is confused which table to take from. So you will have to mention that I want to take this from the customer table. Is that clear? Same thing, it did not happen for this and this because that is only present in one of the tables. Right? Please complete this also and then I'll explain you one more method of doing the same thing. Done everyone? Okay. Now please observe, please observe. Every done right? I'm going to explain a very important concept. Please observe. Now, to write such big, sentences, you can shorten this. All right. How? By giving an alias to a table name. All right. What do I mean by alias? Alias is like a pet name, like a second name. So how to give an alias is you have to write dummy data dot customer data space C. So C becomes the alias of customer data table. Is that making sense, everyone? Is that making sense? Same way, I can say dummy data dot sales data space S. All right, but this alias cannot be given separately like this. Okay, so what you will need to do, I'm going to just copy this here so you understand. And I'm going to remove this for now. So I'm saying star. Okay. Here what you do, Select star from, this is where you give your alias. So here, after this you put a comma and say C. After this you put a comma and say S. Okay. Now on, instead of writing the entire thing, I can just say C dot cust ID, and here I can say S dot cust ID. Is that making sense to everyone? Is that making sense? Others? Only two people are answering. Diptesh, Gaurav, no comma, nothing, no comma. Hiral, Rajan, Param, are you all there following? No, no comma required. Just a space and a name. Okay. Now, here also, now what I can do is I can say C dot cust ID, comma, I can give it if I want, S dot sales ID, or and uske pehle C dot cust name. Now when I run this, I get the same output, but just see the size of the query that is reduced to. So this was not necessary, right? But I just give it if I want to give it. Understood everyone? Please complete this and let me know once you're done. Done everyone? Yeah. Now, what we are going to do is the second one, which is called full outer join. Okay, full outer join means what? Show me everything that is in both the tables, not just the common thing. Okay, so the only difference is, see here we are learning inner join. Okay, now we are learning full outer join. So the same code I have copy pasted, only instead of writing inner, I'm going to write full outer and see what it gives me. Is this making sense, everyone? Yes? Is this making sense? Please complete this. Please complete this. Done? Guys, please write done once you're done. You tell me, Banu, why is it null? You only tell me why is it null? Guys, can somebody answer Banu's question? Can somebody answer Banu's question? Okay. All right. So just to answer again, in case somebody also has the same question, because customer ID 5 has not bought anything, right? There is no value of customer ID 5 in the sales table. Understood? Now, here I can write where sales ID, let me write s dot sales ID, is null. Please observe, guys. I've written where s dot sales ID is null. So now it is showing me only data where sales ID is null. If I write is not null, it will show me everything except that. So this is extra just to explain you how it works, how null works. Is this clear, everyone? Is null and is not null? Yeah? Okay. Now, okay, do you want to try this? You can take 2 minutes and try this, please. Is null and is not null. Complete this, then I'll carry on. Guys, please write done once you're done. I keep waiting otherwise. Done. Okay, now please observe carefully. Please observe carefully. In this, I'm going to just copy paste again now. So now we are learning left join. In this query, which is the left table and which is the right table? So left table is obviously the one on the left, which is customer table, and right table is sales table. Simple enough. Now instead of full outer, I'm going to write left join. Okay. Now what does left join do? Left join gives me the common data as well as all the data in the left table. Right join gives me common data as well as all the data in the right table. So now I have done left join. So left join gave me the common data, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and also all the data in the customer table. So it gave me 5 also. Now the same thing if I do in right join, and here also if I say right join, it will give me all the data in the common and all the data on the right table. Right table only has this much data. Understood very well. Understood very, very well. What is left join and what is right join? Please let me know once you're done. Done everyone? Yes, yes, I will. Just waiting for this to get over, then that's the last thing to complete. Done everyone? Alright. I'm going to give you one question to solve everyone so that this concept is clear in your mind. Please write this down. Show sales order ID, product name, okay, in a single output. So which all column, which all tables you are going to use? Sales order detail and product. Guys, please use these two tables to give me that output. Please go ahead and try this quickly. Got it? Done, everyone? So I put one more. You can try that also. Guys, come on, done. All right, please observe. Please observe. So that completes our SQL, whatever we had to learn. Now I'll just quickly take you through normalization. It's more of a concept than to do any writing of code. Everybody, if you have not completed this, please do it later. I'm just putting the code in the chat box so you can take it. Guys, please do it later. I have to complete this concept. I only have 5 more minutes left. So what is normalization? Basically, when you have data without normalization, so people who don't understand the concept of data structures would end up making data like this: student ID, student name, subject opted, and if a student has opted for 2 subjects, they'll put maths, comma, chemistry. Okay? A normal person who doesn't understand data structures, that is what they will do. So to refine this further, what the first normal form says, that you don't have any 2 items in one single cell. So if it is either person has opted for 2, you make it as 2 separate rows. Is that making sense, everyone? Is that making sense? Yes? Yeah? Everybody clear with this much? And the second normal form says, okay, if you go with the first normal form, every time that you have a maths, you'll have to write MATHS, 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 and that will take up more space in the database. So instead of that, make one table with the subjects, right? As in subjects opted, and one table, sorry, my point was wrong. What I was trying to say is, student name you will have to keep repeating if he has opted for multiple subjects. Sorry, that is what I was trying to say. That you will have to write AA twice. So instead, you make one single table for student database, and then you say against each ID what is the subject opted. So what is the commonality? What is the foreign key here? Student ID is the foreign key. Is that making sense, everyone? Yes? Alright. Now what does third normal form say? That when you have student and you have the entire address, what you can do is, you can split the entire address as this. And here you have student name, DOB, and only a zip code, and the entire zip code value is here. So this has only one column extra. This has multiple columns that you split. So you don't have to write so much data every time for each zip code. You can only put it once and zip code can be referenced. Is this clear, everybody? So this normalization is basically to ease out the structure and to ensure that it takes up less space, less processing power, everything less. So that is where now joins come into picture. So now to be able to get the full output, you will have to join based on the zip code. Here to get the full output, you have to join based on the student ID. So joining is fine because that is giving you a temporary output instead of storing all that data multiple times. Is that making sense, everybody? Yes? Okay, so that completes our SQL. I'm just going to put the the feedback link. Just give me 1 minute. Guys, next class is Power BI. So please ensure that you have completed your SQL assignment as well as you have installed Power BI. Okay, please ensure that, everyone. You will also get login credentials from Digital Vidya for Power BI. So keep them with you when the class starts. They are going to be required immediately at the second half of the class. Alright. So please ensure that you keep all these things ready. Your assignment, then your Power BI installation as well as login credentials. Yeah. Yes, they will email you. Yes, Neil. Guys, I put a feedback link. I request you all to please fill the feedback. And also, if you ever need, I mean, I would always suggest that you please also put comments in the feedback. Only then we come to know what is going right, what is going wrong. Yeah, guys, please put comments in the feedback. I put the link. Everybody, please fill the feedback. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I shall see you all next class, same time. So two more classes of Power BI, then three classes of statistics. Yes. All right. Bye bye, everyone. Have a good Sunday. Have a good long weekend, in fact.